Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's always my honor to be greeting you and always bring this message of emancipation to you, pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. That's the reason why I want to speak to you today on how to order your conversation aright. But just before I go into my topic, I just want to remind you concerning our march, our Abdullah Neville Goddard march that has already been uploaded, and there's a link below that you can check out the items that are available and support the legacy of Abdullah and Neville Goddard. And that is the reason why I want to speak to you concerning how Abdullah taught Neville Goddard to order his conversation aright. And as we know, Neville was studying the Bible with Abdullah along with the Kabbalah, and Abdullah was using the Kabbalah to teach Neville how everything was put together and how that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. How the Bible is not literal, neither is it secular history, and that from the beginning to the ending of the Bible it's all a great psychological drama, and it all have to do with the human psyche. So what Abdullah did, Abdullah took Neville Goddard into the Bible and teach him Psalms chapter 50, verses 22 to 23, concerning what it really means when it speaks about ordering your conversation aright. There must be a reason why it says that you must order your conversation aright. Now, as I always teach you, a word is a thought expressed. So if there's going to be a conversation, there have to be the expression of thoughts. So a thought is a vibrational frequency, because everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. And when you have a thought, it is without form and it is void. You can't see it, you can't taste it, you can't touch it, you can't smell it. It is taking place within. Therefore, this kind of conversation is a conversation from within. So when it says that you must order a conversation aright, Abdullah taught Neville Goddard that everything begins within and that all things exist in the human imagination. For the eternal body of man is the imagination, and that is God himself. For there is no other God. There is no God in the sky or outside of yourself. God is not a man in the sky. Abdullah also taught Neville Goddard that the central theme of the Bible is man's imagination. Therefore, many has been taking personification for persons and taking allegory for history. So, as I would have said before, he took him into the Bible in the book of Psalms. Now, there are many people who would do videos concerning the lectures of Neville Goddard, and many of them, they would not go into the Bible because they say that they don't want to sound religious, and many of them do not speak about Abdullah also, who was Neville Goddard's mentor. But you know, the student always reflects the teacher and what the teacher would have taught him. And that is why I can go into the mind of Abdullah and show you what Abdullah wanted to accomplish through the true teacher Neville Goddard, the true Christianity that everyone should have in their life and practice in their life to live a life of abundance and prosperity in the knowledge of knowing who they are, coming to true salvation, which is self-realization. And that is why it's very important for everyone to practice positive self-image psychology so they can live their life happily on their terms and not what the system set out for them to keep them controlled in fear. So here in Psalm chapter 50 verses 22, he said, "Now consider this, ye that forget God." So in order for you to forget God, then you must be God to forget God. There's no way you can forget God unless you are God. Because for I to forget something, it means that that thing is already within me, and I allow some sort of distraction or other thing to block it, but it's right there. So it's hidden. So when he's saying here, ye that forget God, it is because they have allowed their attention or their focus to go somewhere else. And when people start looking outside of themselves and start believing that God is a man in the sky, this is where they have forgotten God, their higher self, their true self. They have forgotten where to look. He said, lest I tear you in pieces and there be none to deliver. When you forget who you are and living based on what others would have told you, and never look to yourself, never believe in yourself, never trust in yourself, never get in touch with your true essence, you're actually lost. So you're in a place of destruction. That's why it says here, tear you in pieces. You are divided. You are in confusion. You are in chaos, and there's none that can deliver you. Only you can deliver yourself. That is why only you can emancipate yourself from mental slavery. No one else could deliver you from mental slavery. Because we can only suffer two ways in this world. We can either suffer physically or psychologically, mentally. So there's no in between. It's either physical or psychological. So if you're saying that the Bible is literal, then you're saying that all the people that I speak about in the Bible is physical people who live physically. But we're saying they just represent states of mind, states of consciousness. It is all teaching you about the mind. It's not secular history. So Abdullah was teaching Neville Goddard these things when he went into these kind of scriptures to show him the power of self-talk and how you are the one who's actually creating your world. That's why he says that God said, let there be, and there was, showing you the power of the spoken word, and that your word will never return unto you void. It must accomplish that which is sent to and prosper anything whereto you send it. Because remember, as I said before, a word is a thought expressed, and a thought is a vibration and frequency, and everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. So even as I speak to you, it's all energy, vibration, and frequency. And if you listen to me, it means that you're on this frequency also. So Abdullah was teaching Neville Goddard how to come upon another frequency by ordering his inner talking aright, his inner speaking. The things he dwell on psychologically is a reflection of those things that are happening on the outside. So Abdullah was teaching Neville Goddard this. Okay? So when you forget who you are, and you do not know who you are, and you live in a world where you are lost and not conscious of your God self, you're going to live in a place of division. You're going to live in a place of destruction. So instead of you using your creative power in an uplifting way and to be of value to humanity, you will be finding yourself and seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances, instead of seeing that the circumstances are actually creatures of man, and man are not the creatures of their circumstances. You are the one who create them. So when you miss the sense of you being the creator, you're lost. Okay? Because it is your own thought that is creating your reality. Therefore you can create your reality consciously, and that is what Abdullah wanted us to get across to Neville. Okay? And that is why he put Neville in a place to have a certain experience that Neville will come and share the experience with him. Like when Neville said to him that he had the burning desire to travel to Barbados, and then Abdullah said to him, you have already gone to Barbados, and you have gone there also first class. And Neville had no work, and he had no money. This is where verses 23 comes in here now in Psalms chapter 50, where it says, whoso offereth praise, glorifieth me. You can never say me and not referring to yourself. It's a higher self, it's all about you. is your spiritual autobiography that must be interpreted psychologically. And to him that ordereth his conversation aright, will I show the salvation of God. Remember, the salvation of God is actually your self-realization. That's true salvation, recognizing your higher self, your true self, your God self. But what isn't until you come in to offer praise and glorify that which is within you through your inner conversation, your inner talking, the things that you say to yourself when you're by yourself. That is why you need to spend alone time, that you can speak with yourself and speak positive things within yourself, good things within yourself. See yourself being and doing and having that which you desire. And that's why Abdullah taught Neville Goddard to sleep in his mother's home, in his imagination in Barbados, while Neville was residing in New York. And also told Neville to walk the streets of New York and see himself walking the streets of Barbados in his imagination. Because whatever is taking place within, that is what you will behold without. That is what would be your physical experience. So, we're living in a three-dimensional world. But there's a world beyond the three-dimensional world. And once you can contact that world with your desire and your feeling, your emotion, then you can bring it back over here into this three-dimensional world. It is a transmutation of energy. That is why you must be transformed by the renewing of your mind. When you order your conversation aright, it is you being transformed by the renewing of your mind, and you dwelling upon those things that are good and those things that are lovely and those things that are of good report and of virtue. That is you having the right thoughts. That is you being in control of your mind. So to order your conversation aright, it is speaking of your inner speaking, your inner conversation. So all conversation begins within and expressed without. So whatever results you're getting in your life is a result of your inner conversation, your inner talking. So you must order your conversation aright, which means you must be in control of your mind throughout the day, and think upon the things that you want in your life and not on the things that you don't want. Focus on the right thing. Keep the right focus by believing in your higher self. Know what you want. Be definite about what you want. And all you need with thoughts is that inner speaking. We was given mind and speech, and we have to use our mind and speech by ordering our inner conversation. Alright? So when you speak here about conversation, people think it have to do with the things on the outside, and they miss the inside. Everything starts within. That is why, my brother and my sisters, true conversation with God is spending time in meditation and visualization. And that is why you're told in Psalms chapter 4 verse 4 that you must commune with your own heart upon your bed and go into the stillness. Go into that place of silence that you can listen. Listen and silence is actually the same word. And also in Matthew 6:6, you're told you must not be like the hypocrites who like to be seen and heard. Do not speak to a God outside of yourself. Go within. Go in the closet, the secret place where the Father dwells, in the secret place of imagination. The secret place is the place where you get thoughts and ideas and dreams and goals, where no one can see or hear, only you alone. And you're told that the right hand must not let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. See to it that you tell no man. And when you prove it for yourself, you realize that when you order your conversation aright, that it is a change of destiny. So a change of mind, a change of thought, a change of mindset is a change of destiny. So you can change your destiny from poverty to prosperity just by changing your mentality. That's why the Bible says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So Abdullah had to take Neville Goddard through the Bible and show him the Bible and explain the Bible to him psychologically. That's why I'm saying to you, instead of going and begging God, go and give praise, offer praise, and glorify your higher self. your innermost being, your true essence. Glorify it. Don't be afraid to speak about your I amness, your God self. Don't be afraid to speak things into being, because you're God in flesh. Whether you know it or you don't know it, you're actually God in flesh. For there's one creator, and there's only one creative power, and the only creative power there is the power of imagination. And everything that you see, it was first imagined, it was first a thought, it was first an idea. And you're told without him, there isn't anything made that was made, and all things was made by him. That him is not a man 2,000 years ago. That him is not a man in the sky either. That him is a personification of your own human imagination, because your spirit having a human experience. This is why anything that you want in this world, you have to imagine it. You have to see it really have imagination. And that's what Abdullah taught Neville Goddard. And that is what I'm reiterating here with you by saying to you, always remember to order your conversation aright. Always be mindful of your inner talking. Know what you're saying to yourself. Know what you're believing deep within. So my brother, my sister, is as simple as changing your inner conversation. You look at your outer environment, and if you do not love it, if you want to see it better, you change your inner conversation. It's as simple as that. And remember to do it just before you go to bed, using your imagination. And remember to be the policeman of your thoughts, your mind throughout the day. Monitor your mind throughout the day. Think less. Talk less and think more. Let me just reiterate that again. Talk less and think more. So you definitely need to spend time in isolation. You definitely need alone time so you can get into that vibration and frequency whereby you can direct your inner speech in the direction that you want it to go, to live the best version of your life, or best version of yourself. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I want to thank you very much. I just want to say to you, remember to order your conversation and write your inner conversation, your inner talking. So if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying makes sense to you, really resonating with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I would encourage you to like, to comment, or to subscribe, or to share this video. But before I leave, I just want to remind you that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And it's truly because that eye would have opened within me, and I was changed from mortal to immortality in a twinkling of an eye. That is the reason why I'm here bringing this message to you, saying to you that when you have this awakening experience, it will bring you to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun truly parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life, and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you're told in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And common sense will teach you that the Son has never withhold any good thing from humanity. For the Son is what powers all of humanity and gives all of humanity its energy. Then in Malachi chapter 4 verse 2, you're told also that the Son of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And truly, when the Son has risen in me, I'm bringing healing to humanity, pointing each and every one to look inwardly and saying to you to use your mind power, which is your sun power, your solar power, your God power, your creative power, which is actually sexual power. Use that power to create your every desire. This was the message that was taught to Neville Goddard by our ancestor Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, and reminding each and everyone that you must always remember to order your conversation. All right. So with that being said, I want to say peace. Love you all. Out.